All right, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for stopping in for a little while with us. But for the next 10, 12 minutes, we're going to really talk a little bit about a different approach to IT strategy, utilizing secondary market products as well as third-party maintenance and addressing IT asset recovery. My name is Pete Belyea. I'm the president and CEO of CXtec, and we are North America's largest provider of secondary market product. So when we start talking about redefining IT strategy, a few things come to mind is how do you go about redefining that IT value cycle within your organization and still achieve the primary goals that you have for your IT organization of reliability and ROI, as well as driving savings into profitable operations for your organizations. So you can go about doing business as you always have been doing, which is brand new product, OEM maintenance, and then moving along. Or you can look at a process that really is designed to give you choices, reduce reliance on single vendors or single players, empower customization of your network, as well as free up time and budget within your organization. And we break this down into really three big buckets. The first one being the hardware aspect, third-party maintenance and professional services, contracted professional services, and IT asset disposition, which is really the recovery of value for your stranded assets that you have within your organization. So let's kind of dive into, first and foremost, the hardware piece of the puzzle. Secondary market product has really come of age in the market space. You'll see me reference a few quotes from Gartner as we go through, because Gartner really has stepped up to the plate, as well as the other research organizations, to provide us with you, the end users, with some real baseline knowledge of what's happening in that market space and giving it some credibility that it probably didn't have 10 years ago. So in the secondary market space, as you can see, that despite some of the concerns that are out there, you can see that this market is growing, and it's growing quite rapidly. Used market has really come from a space where it was basically operated out of the back of people's trucks many years ago to now where it is a multiple $100 million business just for us alone, let alone the market as a whole. So you might ask why this market's growing. Why is this happening? Where is it going? Where does the supply come from? And anybody who's in the IT space will tell you, in a new installation, the problems typically happen during spin up and initial burn-in and the issues there. That's usually where you have your highest failure rate right out of the box. Typically, once things are spun up, products run and are supported and work pretty reliably out in the market. So I kind of look at this bathtub curve that's up here, kind of talking about the early on out-of-box failures and then the long useful life cycle of the product sets. And then way towards the end of the product set is where you start having power supply issues and memory issues and fan issues and those type of things. That's where you come to the long tail of the life cycle. So product is actually outliving what some people that are on the leading edge of the business are doing. So you've got people who are leading edge, who are replacing and turning, that are creating supply in the market that allows you to extend that life cycle out further. And what's really cool in this space is, one person's stranded asset or stuff that's no longer being used can actually be used in another organization to push that business forward and allow them to continue to save money, to really invest in profit-driving applications that are out there. So really, when you look at the hardware aspect of this, and it's all about extending your life cycle value. When you look at the hardware aspect of this, it's not just should you just use used, should you just use new. It's really how do you blend together the right solutions in a way that benefits you from a production point of view. And now this holds true whether it's networking products, server storage products, anywhere in your hardware aspect, these products come into play. You might be a cloud provider and you're turning over servers and storage at a very, very rapid rate, and that storage can actually be put back in service in other people's facilities. So It's really, how do you come up with the best hybrid solution? Where do you put new product? Where do you put manufacture or refurbished product? And where do you put secondary market pre-owned equipment? So let's move on from the savings that you've created and the opportunities you've created using the secondary market product, and let's talk a little bit about third-party maintenance. Third-party maintenance is really the second spoke on the wheel. I kind of put third-party maintenance and then augmented professional services in the same bucket. Different attacks to the same process though. So in third-party maintenance, when you come to the market space in third-party maintenance, it really gives you a lot of opportunities. Again, Gartner's come out and has done a tremendous amount of research in this space in the last few years, really validating the market. But the big thing that they keep talking about here is, again, it's a hybrid solution. It's not, you can go all third-party maintenance or you can go all OEM maintenance. It's how, when you come up with it, it's the right combination of maintenance products that go into this space. So let's kind of talk a little bit about third-party maintenance's advantages. You know, first and foremost is cost savings. It typically comes in at 25 or 30% of what you see the OEM's maintenance process going. Flexibility, most third-party maintenance providers that are out there are providing maintenance in a way that is more flexible than their one-year contracts, three-year contracts, but you also can see in the third-party maintenance space month-to-month contracts that come into play. It really allows you to figure out which product sets need to have OEM maintenance. If the software is being updated on a routine basis, then you want to be in OEM maintenance. But if you're like most people, you see at the beginning of the life cycle, you see lots and lots of software updates, and then the product becomes a little aged in, stable, and you don't see those software updates. Warning sign, if you're ever dealing with a third-party maintenance partner that says to you, I can give you software updates, that should be a red flag. There's not an OEM out there right now that, I shouldn't say there are a couple, but by and large, there are not OEMs out there who allow you to have their software as part of that upgrade. So this is really for product that's longer in the cycle. I've got a chart here. Whoops. Maybe I have a chart here. I thought I had a chart here that shows exactly how to do it. So typically what I look at when I'm looking at talking to people about third-party maintenance in this space and extending their life cycle, mission critical, highly updated pieces of hardware, stay with the OEM maintenance. It's the best solution for you. Moving forward, look at the stuff on your edge, storage that is just out there spinning for backups, great opportunity, whether it's any of the big storage providers, you can go out there and you can put them on third-party maintenance and save a material amount of money for stuff that's not mission critical. So blending those two together, I have one customer that in the process, we save that customer about $500,000 a year in their third-party maintenance window. So it's a very material savings in that space. So the third part of the wheel is really IT asset disposition. So this is one that is particularly interesting because it's one of those double-edged swords. We all have these products that are coming out of service, whether it's networking products or storage products, whatever it is, and we have to answer the question, what do I do with it? You know, where does it go? How do I make this happen? How do I environmentally, responsibly make this product go away? So you can either pay to have it disposed of, which is a lot of companies do, or you can look at, can I recover value from the equipment that's there? So we look at it both on a hyperscale, really large data center platforms, as well as an enterprise class scale. How do we take this product out of service and move it forward? Again, a quote from Gartner. They're really big in this space. They're really talking about here that the thing that you want to pay attention to is the last quote there, especially when we start talking servers and storage. You don't want to end up with your company's name in the news because you're not properly disposing of it or properly erasing those disk drives that are out there. So what we would recommend for you to do is when you're out there is make sure that the person who is doing the disposition of your product sets is R2 or East Steward certified and is certified for data erasure for anybody that's dealing with data, because it's a big thing. So scale is really important in the partner you choose in that particular space. Excuse me. So when we look at this, typically what you'd be looking to do in the data recovery space would be to approach a partner that's there, vet that partner as to their credibility, their capabilities, their scope and scale, and then try to find out what is the cost associated with displacing that equipment and getting it out of your data center. Do they charge to have it erased? Do they not charge to have it erased? How do they recycle it? And then are they willing to provide you value in return for the product that you're taking out? Some people will do it as a straight purchase. Some people will do it to offset the fees associated with the disposal of the product. And some people will do it on consignment. So if they sell it, you sell it. But it's definitely a way you should be looking at moving this forward. So what should you look for when you're looking at a partner? So this is really the key question that's out there, because there are a lot of people in the secondary market space. There are a lot of people who claim to be in the third-party maintenance space. There are a lot of people who claim to be in the IT asset disposition space. Make sure that when you're out there talking to your customers or to your suppliers and your vendors that you're vetting them really strongly. Make sure that from the supply side of secondary market that they have the product diversity you need and the scale of inventory you need. It's remarkable the number of secondary market providers out there who are selling from an empty bucket. So you want to buy something, a switch, a server, disk arrays. They take the order and then they broker it out to other people to try to backfill that order. So that becomes a problem in warranty situations for you. So make sure you have the size and scale. Make sure that they have demonstrated ability for service delivery. Make sure on the IT asset disposition side that they have the value recovery capabilities that you're looking for. All of those things are critically important as you move forward, because when you move away from OEM support or OEM new, you need to make sure the company you're dealing with has the size, scale, and breadth in order to be able to move the ball forward for you. Finally, as I wrap up, if you have any questions, I'll be around here for a little bit. We're also at booth 206. Glad to answer any questions that you might have. Make sure though, the parting thought, there is opportunity for savings as it relates to secondary market product in your production networks to be able to save on the front end. Third-party maintenance can allow you cost savings from a perspective of maintenance in your production environment. And last and not least, IT asset disposition can provide you, if done right, security, cost recovery, and most importantly, peace of mind to make sure that it doesn't end up in a landfill improperly. So all those things are critically important to go forward. So thank you and have a great day.